And we are live. And oh, let me get signed in here. There we go. Just checking on some of the YouTube's stuff that's relevant. Let's see. Okay, person not yet right. Okay. There we go. Hope I'm not overlapping with Kyle and Paul's live stream too much. I think most of their stuff should probably be done, I would suspect. Leave. Okay. Live stream. So, the only reason I'm kind of live right now is I'm trying to get an idea of what will be popular and what won't and stuff like that. So, I do need to get a new trinket though. That I do need. You're offline. Why am I offline? Ask her what the heck that means. Really popular and what won't and stuff like that, so. Apparently she's not tuning in. So, let me know if that AC gets a little bit too loud in the background. I can probably... Actually, let me just turn it off for now. Much as I like to be chilled. Ugh. You guys come first. There we go. Quieter. So, let me try something here. Let me think. I'll mess with that later. I gotta mess with my Elgato to see, probably gotta message him here. Yeah. Let's see if I can live stream without the performance hit. Traders rise. The only problem I have with tanking this is I have no idea what I'm doing. So I feel like I'll get my shit kicked in pretty bad. Yeah, what the heck. I'll do Dungeon Finder. PS. Call it a day. Around my OBS so I can see everything. Movie over there. Oops. Gotta open Ryzen Master. I'm not properly overclocked. So I'll make sure that I am. Good there. Okay. 3.9 gigahertz, 24 megahertz RAM. Okay. Let's see what kind of world quests are out there right now. See if anything has changed. Should probably go do that one at some point. Yeah, let's go to the Broken Shore. Why not?
Can I assist you?
So I didn't find that flight path anyhow. So, for anybody who watches this later down the road, I'm going to start timestamping these. A lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, so I just uploaded. I'm going to share my screen with you guys here in a second. Oh, I just got a subscriber. I have 333. So I'm going to switch you guys over to this screen here. So I just uploaded this video. Okay, you guys can see that. Cool. Can Vega 64 hit 2000 megahertz? The answer is no. And unfortunately, it looks like the clickbait probably bite me in the butt. I have 3 dislikes and 6 likes. The Master Liquid 120, that is doing pretty well right now. This video is talking off pretty well. I expected that being AMD Vega 64. A lot of people be interested in that. So those are up. So what's coming down the pipeline, we have a couple of things. So tomorrow, I'm probably going to be filming a build log, which I will have edited and hopefully up tomorrow night. So that will be coming. I have to order a Hyper 212 Evo. Stupid me, ordered a bracket. And I do not believe... I don't see a Hyper 212 Evo ever. Okay, technically I do have a cooler, but I don't have a fan assembly kit for it. So I'm going to have to buy one of those. Might just have to bite the bullet and buy it if I get something sold pretty soon. And then I have, as I teased on my most recent video, Greetings Thomas, I actually have my very first sample product to review. It's going to be sent to me by a manufacturer. I'll be the first one to tell you guys, it's nothing like super exclusive, you know, it's not like a secret AMD card, but it is a product. I believe the product's on the market. I have seen a Facebook post by the manufacturer looking for people to basically review their product, and I sent my information, and I guess they felt that I was what they were looking for. I was one of the people that were selected, so I sent them my shipping information, and they will be sending me one. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've used their products before. I'm not going to drop the name, but I have used their products before, and I really hope to showcase maybe more than one video. Maybe do a build guide or a build log in this product, and then after I actually do my review of it. So you guys can expect that to come. Then after that, I don't really much planned. So I have 3 videos planned here in the near future. I don't have anything so much really planned after that, and I think that's kind of going to be a little bit of an issue. So I got to figure out what will be good and basically then go do it. Oh, I don't want to get killed here. System, sound. Okay. So, yeah, that's the only thing is I don't have a ton of stuff planned right now. I do want to. Don't get me wrong, I definitely want to, but there's not a lot of new and exciting stuff coming out that I really know of. There's Vega 56 coming out, but I don't have anything to compare that against. So, I do have a video that I have the information for it to a degree. But the problem is, and actually my last live stream you guys can actually see, I was running into problems where basically I wasn't getting results that made sense, and I think I can still publish the video now that I figured out why I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. But that was my Adobe Premiere acceleration video. So I've actually done a video like that before. Now I have a bit more information regarding why everything worked the way it did. So, spoiler alert on that. It turns out that what I do, it doesn't matter. There's not some crazy After Effects and high resolution textures and, you know, things of that nature. So it kind of doesn't. The GPU matters, but like, you know, the difference between, you know, rendering a 10-minute 1080p video with an RX 550 versus an RX Vega or GTX 1060 is like a minute. It's not really a super huge difference. So it really comes down to raw horsepower of your CPU. And I think that probably made far more of a difference than anything else. Okay, so we'll put there. Okay, good, good. So I finally got that part done. Let's see what's going on over here. So, but yeah, so anyway, that's basically kind of the stuff that's coming up on the pipeline here. I definitely have to figure out the Hyper 212 sooner rather than later because, well, the build log go up next. It might be another week or so until I get that case. So I want to be able to get another product over to you guys, or another product review of some sort. And then obviously my 1 or 2 times a week live stream. I think Saturday nights are definitely a go for me. I don't know about any other days so far, but definitely Saturday nights should be a go. There we go. But yeah, it's kind of what's coming down the pipeline. Nothing unfortunately new and exciting. I mean, I do have. I'm just trying to think like what would I could potentially expand my horizon in a lot of avenues. So, you know, I was looking at getting a new keyboard, the Hyper X something. I was looking at them today. That definitely could be a possibility. Reviewing stuff like that. I feel like I don't know enough about them where I may not be able to give a good review on them. I mean, guess you don't know until you try. But something I could potentially do, and this kind of depends on what I pick up here soon. But the cheapest new computer I can find could definitely be an option. So with having the RX 550, the G4560, relatively expensive motherboard, definitely sounds like that could be a possibility. Probably under 300 bucks ideally. But I would like to keep everything brand new. Because with used, I mean, the problem is with doing something that's used is it depends how lucky you are, your area, how good is the resale in your market. Whereas buying something brand new generally will be very similar price across the board. Oh, that's right, I need to do my Frost Quest. Okay, so they already did one. Yeah, I wanted a Cherry MX Blues. I still do. But don't judge. Well, it's more so, you know, can I allocate funds that way or not? So, you know, for the very first time in my history, oh, don't aggro, I'm going to be reviewing a product that doesn't come out of my pocket or a customer of mine's pocket. So one of the things that I do is, for example, I'm doing a build log on a $1,300 editing build. In this scenario, it's actually not coming out of pocket at all. The customer actually just funding it and then paying me direct, just due to his fund allocation, which is perfectly fine. A lot of times I buy stuff and they reimburse me, so, but it's going to work out for me in the end. But yeah, that's usually how I fund a lot of the projects I do, is I find someone that could benefit from it, or I could sell it and make money back on the back end. So it varies. Greetings, Mr. Shadow. Question is, did you see your shadow today? See what I did there? $388,000 ain't too shabby. I think I actually might jump out of this game a little bit and what quality is it? Really pixelated. Ooh, let me see here. Hold on. Sell it and make money back on the back end. So, it goes. Greetings, Mr. Shadow. I am streaming up to 1080p, so should be good. Yeah, I am streaming 1080. Okay, yeah. 1080p 60 hertz is actually what I'm streaming at, so. Okay, yeah, I'm worried about that for a second. I think I might go play WoW Warships since I'm really far behind on that. Whee! If you, I mean, don't get overly trolling on the, whatchamacallit, but there's not a ton of people on. I just got bored. As you can hear my graphics card fan kick up. Oh, hey, Rob, I know what I want as a wedding gift. I'll give you a hint. You guys sell it at Best Buy. Eh, 366,000 ain't too shabby either. Do I have a better necklace? Yes, I do. You guys have a, Kingston makes a keyboard and mouse, mechanical keyboard. It's $100. I know it's a little bit of a better deal with the BBY discount, but I just didn't have the money on me to do it as much as I would love to. That's Cherry MX Blues. I'd like to do a review of it though. I think I might. And babe, since you're watching the stream, can we use business account funds for that? Maybe. Maybe when I sell that one computer, we'll do it. I know going into work is going to be fun tomorrow. Can't state why for those of you that don't know what I do for a living or who I work for, but who's playing Frost? I'm playing Frost. I'm primarily Blood, but I don't like Unholy. I go against the curve. Okay. And it was quite funny because they were joking around at work when management was briefed upon what was happening. And I had to laugh because they said, well, you'll find out tomorrow. And I was like, okay. Freaking Ars Technica. Oh, wow. Ars Technica, literally breaking news at the top of my phone this morning, had the article. So apparently it wasn't like hush hush. It was just like they were going to release information the next day about it. Oh, why playing Frost? I apologize. I don't like, I just didn't feel like tanking. And I don't like Unholy personally. I don't like the play style of it. So that's why. I know Unholy does a fair bit more DPS. So my item level's not that high. I'm like 852. It's not like it's necessarily very good. Flamezilla. I don't recall I've seen you on my stream before. I apologize if you have. One thing I do have to do, though. I have to head to a jar and do that. Ugh. got a fair bit of views in my channel. I just gotta keep content going. That's really what it comes down to. I'll tell you guys here in a second. In the last, since July 25th, I've had 10,000 views on my channel. So that's, for me, that's a big deal. I mean, there's some people, okay, thank you very much. There's some people who, you know, they get 10,000 views in 10 minutes of posting a video. In a month long, you know, 10,000 is definitely a big deal for me, obviously. Cool, definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I'm all aboard the Ryzen train. There's no doubt about it. I like, you know, I'm generally about maximizing performance per dollar. Generally, granted, if you look at my system, which, why the hell not? I'm on autopilot anyway. You know what? I need to change this. Hold on a second. This is annoying. Maybe I can't do it. Whatever. So this is me. Not that you guys really need to see that at all. So this is my rig. So up here we have 3 Corsair SP 120 fans, stack pressure. We have an H100i up here with SP 120 fan. We have a red one in the rear. We have an RX Vega here. We have, you can see down there, a Samsung 960 EVO NVMe SSD, 250 gig. We have 32 gigs of Corsair LPX memory. And then what you don't see is I have a really cheap motherboard, which I'm going to replace at some point. It's a B350 ASRock board. And I have a 1 terabyte SSD around back for storage. So that's my actual rig setup. I don't really have to do much more to it. I literally just plan on replacing the board. Oops, I'm apparently flying too high here. I plan on replacing the board at some point. This is what I need right here. There we go. Get some better overclocking, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Behind me over here, I have a G4560 and i3. I did some work on. You know, I'm not really bought to any particular brand, make, or model. You know, I love EVGA products. AMD's doing good stuff on the CPU side. They're not doing anything particularly well on the GPU side due to mining and the fact that Vega definitely has a lot of issues. I like it because I have FreeSync, and a FreeSync monitor definitely helps out a lot. Okay, that's right. I gotta do this. Remember, but I'm doing if you're curious, I'm gonna try to do. Bear with me on this. But I'm going to try to do a little more of a professional build log on a $1,300 Ryzen build pretty soon. It's, in fact, tomorrow. I don't know if I doubt it'll go up tomorrow. I have to go up Thursday. I think I'll just shoot the footage and then spend Thursday evening putting it all together. I'll be honest, some of my videos from start to finish might take an hour and a half from when I start doing everything, shooting and editing. And then some take 6 to 8 hours. It just depends on what I'm doing and if I want to do multiple takes or not. Like I said, I'm not as professional as some of the other people out there. So, a couple things. Everything looks good, except 8 gigabytes of RAM, dude. Is that enough? Like, so here, let's take a look at this really quick. Let's move you over to screen 1. So I have 32 gigabytes of system memory. If I'm using up 22% of my space right now, I'm using 7 gigabytes of memory. I feel like that could definitely be affecting your performance a little bit. But that aside, while it doesn't really run particularly good on honestly any system, you know, I'm getting 144 FPS right now, but in raids I don't do that well. There's no doubt that, you know, and this is actually going to be a video I am going to work on. I have to do it as much time as it's going to take. I'm going to have to bite the bullet one day and just do it. So here's the thing. Benchmarking WoW is very difficult. and I'm only going to be able to do one run. So what I'm going to do is Ryzen 3 versus i3. I'm going to overclock the Ryzen 3 to 3.9 gigahertz. That's what I'm going to do under a liquid cooler that I have. And I'm going to compare it to i3 with my GTX 1080 Ti before I sell it. The reason why I want to do 1080 Ti is because the drivers are more mature, better than my RX Vega, and I don't have to worry about power consumption as well. So, just food for thought on that. But it's very hard to benchmark this game because, like, you want to do a raid. Because, look, I'm getting 144 FPS in older genre. That doesn't really tell the whole story. And most people care about rating performance. So, what I'm going to do... I'm going to get my ass beat here for a second. I'm going to do this one, Rift of whatever. And hopefully that gives me the results that we need. Because there's a fair bit that happens. And I'll be 100% honest, there's not a system in the world that you're going to do much better. You'll honestly do better with the 7700K if you overclock to 5 gigahertz. You'll probably be in the lower 50s instead of the mid 40s. But, I mean, that's about as far as you can get. You're really not going to get better, unfortunately. And that's the nature of MMOs, particularly ones that are designed like WoW. So, speaking of which, the guy at Micro Center talked me into getting a Asus board for the Ryzen build I have for sale right now behind me. And I wish I would have gotten the ASRock 350M Pro 4 because this Asus... I could do gold on too. Yeah, that could be an option. I could probably... I forget how long that fight is minute-wise, but I could do it on LFR probably. The problem is like not wiping on it. So, like my highest level character is like 900 or 901, and I don't really raid. I wish I could. I just don't have a lot of time. Yeah, so could potentially do gold on. You know, I would probably have to do, probably was that a 6-minute fight or something like that. Do at least 5-minute fraps, give or take, on LFR. But boy, there's so much that can change, and that's why, like I said, I don't have a problem with doing it. But I feel like if I don't do it more than once per system, then I'm not gonna be able to average something together. So I'm torn between doing it once, correct, doing it once per system, and then the thing is, because then the queue time, so that's the other thing is like, so if I were to queue for Betrayer's Rise, right, so, okay, 3 minutes, that's not bad, that's actually not bad, so I could probably get that done in 2 hours and then go from there, but I would probably want to run the raid twice on each system, just to get a feel for, you know, how well it's really actually running. So, the only other thing is, like, memory overclocking. Make sure I get a decent memory overclocked out in for it. 2666 on Intel, and then 2400 with, or with 2666 with Ryzen, 2400 with Intel, rather. So, but I would go to say that I would expect Ryzen 3 to win if it's at the same clock speed. The reason why is I think the 2 extra cores will help, personally, versus, you know, 4 threads. So, it's going to be interesting. Now, I don't have a 7700K to test with, but it would win. I mean, I'll tell you right now, at 5 gigahertz, it would win against mine at 3.9. There's really almost no argument to that. But I think budget people would probably... Here's what I want to do. This is where I'm torn. Put in a 1080 and put in a 1060. Because the problem I've always had with doing benchmarks is I don't like... Oh, let me look this up real quick before I get my ass handed to me. Let's do this quest. Order the... There we go. benchmarking a Ryzen 3 of the GTX 1080 seems relatively pointless because while it does give you theoretical performance, nobody has a system set up like that. Sorry, I'm looking this up here. I remember doing this. So, I feel like that I would want to run it with the 1080 and the 1060. Because one would give you theoretical max and one would give you realistic expectations. So, that's kind of where I'm torn with that. I can't wait till RX Vegas 64 add-in board partners come out. Ooh, I just got my ass handed to me. Should probably do this as blood, to be honest. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing now that I was getting at was, you know, I love doing budget stuff. I for example, I have a Ryzen 5 GTX 1060 for sale. It's going to take me a long time to sell it because I would price it $1,200 because I have like $1,050, $1,100 in it. So I'm trying to make $100 profit. And, you know, it's not... Yeah, I'm going to switch to blood for this. You know, the high-end stuff people don't really go for. They usually... The biggest market's the budget people. Not necessarily people like $200, but, you know, it's going to be people that, you know, necessarily don't have, you know, $1,000 but have like 800. Well, that was kind of ridiculous. He can really shoot fire. That's stupid. Okay. That is freaking annoying. Freaking knocked all the way off the freaking stairs. But yeah, but out of curiosity, what country you're in? Yeah, used parts. So that's another thing. So you can get a lot more bang for your buck almost anywhere if your used market's, you know, half decent. You know, that also makes it very difficult for me to compete because when I'm selling a $1,200 Ryzen 5 built, the GTX 1060, granted I have a 240 gig SSD. I'm using, you know, a Seasonic power supply. Oh well, actually don't want to do this right now. You know, it makes it very difficult to compare when somebody's selling, you know, an i7. Granted, it's not going to be quite as much raw horsepower. You know, it makes it difficult. I'm not going to lie. It does make it difficult to make any kind of money. Or, in my case, just try not to lose money. I don't know, Sir Richie. ugh. You know, for example here, I'll actually look something up here on my other screen. Let's go computers. Let's go 1,000 to 1,400. So for 1,000 to 1,400, this guy's selling a 4790K, 1070, good power supply, good board, 16 gigs of RAM. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. The only thing is he has a slightly better video card, but a not as powerful CPU. Everything else, for all intents and purposes, is the same. So he's selling for 1,000. Now, mine's brand new, so that's definitely something to consider. This guy, and I know I'll switch over so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. So this guy really doesn't talk much about his computer, so I really can't chalk anything up. The computer I was looking at was this one right here. So, you know, he's asking for $1,000 firm. It's worth it. I think it is. I think it's a good system. The EMI system. So, to show you here, cable management's decent. I have a couple things I need to clean up. I got the radiator in the front. Looking pretty good. OEC Sonic power supply. Got all my bench and performance results. Fire Strike, Time Spy. You know, did some base overclocking and stuff like that. You know. But the problem is, you know, I'm kind of expensive versus everybody else. Here's one for $1,200. 980 Ti, comparable to my card. Running a 6-core processor. 16 gigs of RAM. Really, really high wattage power supply. Includes a monitor. No hard drive. So I mean, definitely a downside there. I wouldn't buy that. Just because it's missing too much. Here's well, literally, he puts no information. Let me see this because that's the information. Okay, this one's way overpriced. I mean, I don't even care what video card he has in here. But, you know, definitely not worth it. Not for an i5. So here's somebody selling something. Nope. So this guy's a bit behind me. Wants the same amount of money. Lesser video card. Slightly better board and CPU. But, you know, he's selling... What the... But yeah, he's making money because cheap case, small SSD, small hard drive's fine. So he's definitely trying to make some money here. Let's see what it shows. What's on this guy here? 8 gigs of DDR3 system, C97 platform. Yeah, so this guy definitely wants way too much money for this. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a problem. You know, people... Okay, this guy's definitely on crack. Not for a GTX 680. I get to realize I can buy a card equivalent of 680 for $80. So it looks like my area isn't... Well, I also have game... I also just put up a price range. Let me just put gaming. So... Okay. This guy's probably a little bit high, given the not like he's high on drugs, but a little bit high in his pricing, I would say. Just given the fact it doesn't have really a graphics card at all. This guy, he's actually a good friend of mine. He's probably not too far off on this one. He probably will get a little bit less for it, but he sells a lot of good stuff for cheap. I do a lot of work with him as well. This is a really good price. This makes it hard to compete. $650. So basically almost half the price of my system. Gives you 4th Gen i5, 16 gigs RAM, 970. Okay, so he's lacking in SSD. So, but I mean, overall, it's not a bad price. You know, you could definitely, I couldn't do better than what he's asking. So this also makes it difficult. i7, 1060, all that stuff. He's asking $850. So, Jason's selling another one. This one, I got to message this guy. I don't like this cable management at all. The way this is. Crossing. I don't know. I feel like he shouldn't move around his configuration. He also wants a lot of money for this. With a 1070 fountain. Yeah, I think he's asking a bit much. You figure I'm a step down on the GPU, no doubt about that. CPU would do a little bit better than what I have, but 6 core. For all intents and purposes, the rest, honestly, is pretty close to it, right? Granted, he's including a mouse keyboard, but he's asking $500. So this would be one I would say is not better buy than what I have. This guy, I just hate, like, I hate the fact that he has the, this bothers me so much. It does. But, I think he's just asking an offer. I think he originally had it listed for like $2,200 or something like that. Or $4,000. He was like way off his rocker. So, back to WoW. You're gonna fight with me. Oh god, I don't know why I'm gonna fight with you. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I think you undersold yourself a little bit on that, but I also don't know your market to kind of, you know, give you my true opinion or not. The problem is I've actually gone away from 8 gigs and I've gone to 16 gigs RAM. Stuff like, you know, Google Chrome taking up a fair bit of memory has been probably one of the biggest reasons why. So, you know, basically any system that's not ultra budget, I try to go 16 just because I feel like it's kind of needed nowadays. I got these new weapons recently, that's pretty cool. Oh, I can't move. Sweet. Bring that down. My fan's getting too noisy for my liking. $3,500 RPM just too loud for me. Hopefully Warships next. Okay. There we go. Now I do a fair bit more damage. Let's go on this guy and see what kind of damage I can do. Recount, show, reset, and let's roll. So where's this winner going here? Okay, I didn't know I couldn't attack, or I could attack while I was doing that. Sweet. Granted, I got some AoE damage going. I'm up over 400. No, they're actually going to Gamescom tomorrow. I just happened to read this, and they're going to talk about it. But I don't think it's coming out. I don't think so. Now they're maintaining some good DPS here. For me, obviously. I mean... So I think I'm going to log out and play some World of Tanks. Or World of Warships. Different world. Going Warships instead of Warcraft. I'm going to switch over my OBS here. Actually, that's not what I want to do. Okay. Why do I have two microphones? I'm curious about that. One's a desktop mic, one's an auxiliary mic. Testing. Okay, just making sure. Somehow would not surprise me at all. Let's do co-op. So this game is pretty cool for anybody who hasn't played it. If you're into stuff like that, like my fiance, she served the United States Navy, so this was actually kind of neat for her. I'll have to go to window mode here in a minute. There we go. Why can't I still... Start battle. Settings. Okay, no. We need full screen window first. Good. I'm floating here. Cool. This game definitely looks really nice too, which is a plus.
Enemy force detected.
So he's going around the mountain. So here's the only downside with this game, is you really have to know your stuff. So I shot way behind him because he's bulking. Nice. Okay, so he's turning towards us. Did I time that one right? Yes. Oh, that was not timed right at all. Oh god, oh god. Turn, 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 turn. Whew. That was close. Whew. Come on. Try to ram us. Yes.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Nice. That game's fun. I don't think I'm playing against other people there, but level 3, sweet. I'll do a random battle, but I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. I'm curious what the system requirements of this game is. To play this game, you need an Intel Athlon 2 X3 3 gigahertz, 2 gigs of system memory, 2.5 gigs with integrated video memory, a 8800 9600 GT, Intel HD graphics, 512. That's right, I already looked at this. So it's interesting, as we were talking, my fiance's father wanted to play this game. I have a Q6600 with 8 gigs of RAM. With the 9600 GT. So.
General quarters.
Not sure if armor piercing is really that useful or not. Whoa. Whoops. Wonder if that person's gonna get mad at me or not. I think I'm down to just Allie watching. Two, one, fire. Apparently, when you run into somebody, you sink their ship. That's funny. Wow, this is totally not worth it. But then I'm going to call it a night, guys. Got work tomorrow in the AM and everything. But, as always, guys, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions. I'll see you guys later on down the road.